Welcome to this video on leading singing with children. This is part of our Training for Children's Ministry course. Now today we're going to look briefly at accompaniment, that's about using a live instrument or pre-recorded music, choosing songs, using actions, and also teaching new songs. But before all that, why bother singing with children in the first place? Well, children love to sing, and children especially love to sing songs with actions. And more importantly, songs help children remember the Bible. So good songs with good lyrics get into our heads. We can remember songs we sang as children when we've forgotten loads of other stuff. So songs are a great way to get Bible truth into children's minds. And of course, singing praise to God can be a great way to respond to what we've heard in the Bible talk. So firstly, accompaniment. The most important thing to do is to provide a confident lead. If you're confident, then the children and the other leaders will be confident. Then they'll sing more confidently and it won't be you looking a complete banana out the front. Now, there are a number of factors in that. For example, the music needs to be loud enough to give confidence to you, the children, and the other leaders to sing up. One of the most common mistakes is to use a CD player that's just far too quiet. And then nobody wants to sing because all they can hear is themselves singing. So replace that awful 20 quid CD player from the local supermarket with something that's more powerful for your group. Then there's eye contact. You need to lead the children. That means looking at them whenever you can. That increases confidence because it also enables you to guide them. They'll look at you to know what comes next in the song. And they'll also look to you to see whether you're praising God with this song or just mumbling your way through it. And you also need to plan what you're doing. You can't just rock up and wing it. You need to know what introduction there is and what the arrangement of the verses and the choruses is. Are you going to use all the verses? What will you do if there's an instrumental break in the song? And a quick word about live versus pre-recorded music. Live music, for example, a guitar or piano, is great because it enables you to dictate the arrangement of a song. It enables you to repeat bits, to miss bits out, and interact with the children in a way that is much more difficult with pre-recorded music. However, if live music isn't an option, pre-recorded music can be very useful, but be aware that you won't have that flexibility. One other thing, you might be thinking that you're tone deaf and leading singing is just not your gift. Well, remember that primary age children aren't too discerning about such things. And children's Bible songs usually have simpler melodies, and you'll probably use a much more limited set of songs than you'd have in a church service. So you'll be much more familiar with the song, especially if you've chosen it, and so you'll be more confident. I've seen people lead singing with children perfectly well, with the children totally engaged, and yet those same people would call themselves tone deaf in any other context. Just take a deep breath and go for it anyway. So secondly, choosing songs. Well, here's the most important principle. Don't give them songs that are biblically misleading, because you see these words will get stuck in their heads and then it's much more difficult to unlearn them. So be careful and check those lyrics first. In some cases, it is possible to change the lyric of a song to make them more biblically faithful. So, for example, one of the earlier songs that I wrote and recorded had a last line, which over the years I've become increasingly dissatisfied with. So we decided to change a couple of the words. It's now much better, but still it's generally better to not use a song at all than to change it significantly. One other thing on lyrics, be careful with songs that talk about our God is such and such. As adults, we understand what that means, but children will take it much more literally, and that plays into the multi-faith ethos of our day. Your God is, our God is, their God is. So be careful with those ones. What about how the songs are musically? Well, it's pretty obvious when a song works and when it doesn't, and songs which aren't good musically will quickly be ditched anyway. If you enjoy singing them, then probably the children will enjoy them as well. And of course, the vocabulary in children's songs should be simpler than in adult ones, but don't worry too much about whether the children understand every line. If it's truth from the Bible, then it's good to get it into our heads by singing it. Thirdly, what about actions? Well, personally, I think they're great, and in the context of children's ministry, even adults will enjoy them. It's interesting how often I'll teach a new song in a school assembly. The children will be interested when you sing them the first bit, but then their engagement skyrockets when you say, here are some funky actions, do this with me. So actions help to engage. They help those overactive children to be doing something with their limbs, and they also help to reinforce the lyrics. So some songs use proper sign language as well, like this one for Lord and this one for save or rescue. These are even more powerful and can, of course, be especially helpful to some children with additional needs. And fourthly, teaching new songs. What on earth should we do with them? Well, look, I happen to have my guitar with me here, so why don't I grab that and let's have a go at it. I think the most important thing to do is to get to know the song yourself, and then you need to get the children familiar with the melody and the words. And I reckon the easiest way to do that is a couple of lines at a time. So you get the rhythm going, and I'll sing a couple of lines, and then you sing it back to me. So wonderful, so powerful, so just and fair and holy. Okay, so you try that with me. Here we go. So wonderful, so powerful, so just and fair and holy. Fantastic. Now, in modern songs, melodies are often in kind of repeated patterns. So it's very likely that you can just say, look, the next bit is exactly the same tune. So you can try that directly with me. So sing with me. So righteous, so forgiving, you hate my sin but love me. Fantastic. And then, of course, some chunks you can teach in one whole lump together rather than kind of dividing it into two lines. So, for example, let's skip to the chorus of this song, and I'll sing the whole thing to you, and then you can sing it back with me. So the chorus goes like this. Amazing, all-knowing, all-seeing, Lord of all the earth. Amazing, all-knowing, all-seeing, Lord of all the earth. Everything you do is right, you're the God of power and might. Amazing, all-knowing, all-seeing, Lord of all the earth. And then, of course, you can go back and start again and run through the whole thing. I think the important thing is not to worry if they don't get it the first time, because by the time you've sung the whole thing a couple of times through, they'll be pretty familiar with it. Children learn really quickly. So there you go. For leading singing with children, we thought about how we do the accompaniment, choosing songs, using actions, and teaching new songs. And whether we're tone deaf or an experienced musician, children in our groups can be encouraged to praise our amazing God. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the other units in this course at clayton.tv.